I'm Matthew, and if you're holding roughly 2,500 XRP, what I'm about to show you could well change everything for your portfolio and your future. Stick with me. I'm going to walk you through major evidence, surprising institutional moves, real-time tweets, rock-hard implications for you as a holder, and what could trigger a massive shift for the entire XRP community. This is insider-style, data-driven, but delivered clearly. And you'll want to hang on until the very end. Because what I'm about to detail may not just be about XRP going up, but about it rewriting part of the crypto rulebook. And if you hold 2,500 XRP, your position might be more powerful than you realize.
So here's the big thesis. If you hold 2,500 XRP today, you could be sitting on what becomes a quiet accumulation before a dramatic structural breakout, one that few are fully waking up to. The institutions are moving, the supply dynamics are tightening, the narrative is shifting, and that means your holding isn't just some altcoin bet, it could become a strategic asset in a bigger move. The kicker? The community, the tech, the regulatory backdrop all align in a way that says, this is not business as usual. This changes everything. Stick around to see why. Now, let's break it down. First, the institutional signals. You may have missed this, but XRP is no longer just the crypto token from Ripple. Major institutions are quietly accumulating XRP ahead of what many expect to be a supply shock. That's not retail hype, that's serious capital. If institutional demand moves while supply remains constrained, the setup for holders becomes much more favorable. Imagine you hold 2,500 coins, and suddenly large players begin taking positions. That changes your reference frame. Second major point, the technical and structural side. XRP is showing signals of being primed. Analysts are pointing to formations, support zones, and a narrative where XRP could shake up the crypto hierarchy. The phrase XRP poised for a shakeup isn't just clickbait. It means that if XRP breaks through key resistance, you could see a move that many didn't anticipate. If you hold 2,500 XRP, this is the moment you want to be dialed in. And with that many coins, the mindset shifts. You're not just hoping for a bounce, you're holding a stake in a potential paradigm shift. Now here's a post you absolutely need to know about. A major exchange shared a scenario for XRP hitting $1,000. While I'm not saying it will get there tomorrow, that kind of post gets eyes on XRP and gets minds thinking. The post stated that if XRP were to hit $1,000, holders sitting with 2,500 coins would have a vastly different life. That kind of narrative drives engagement, community building, FOMO, and that matters for algorithmic exposure, social traction, and investor attention. And attention can turn into capital flow. What does this mean for you holding 2,500 coins? Let's run through the logic. You have 2,500 coins. Institutional demand is creating pressure on supply. The narrative is shifting from will XRP survive to will XRP dominate. Technical setups suggest a breakout zone may be near. Community FOMO and institutional moves are intersecting. This is not about hype alone. It's about the alignment of multiple forces. And if you hold 2,500, you have exposure that truly matters. But here's a mini cliffhanger. What if the surge doesn't come in a straight line? What if the trigger is one large partnership, or one regulatory shift, or one liquidity event that the market underestimates? That's exactly what many are ignoring, and that's exactly what we'll examine next. Let's dive a little deeper into 3 scenarios for your 2,500 XRP position. Scenario A, the base case adoption breakout. In this scenario, XRP sees steady but accelerating adoption, a few major partnerships are announced, institutional accumulation continues, and price moves from current levels into a multi-dollar range, say $5–10, within 12–18 months. If you hold 2,500 coins at $3 or $4, you're looking at meaningful multiples. That's the safe but powerful story. Scenario B, the high conviction shakeup. Here, XRP triggers a structural breakout, institutional onboarding, tokenization of real-world assets on the XRP ledger, supply constraints, and narrative dominance. Price enters double-digit territory relatively quickly. If you hold 2,500, your holding becomes something that major investors take notice of. This could change everything territory. Scenario C, the fast move FOMO scenario. A sudden catalyst, major government endorsement, large corporate treasury buying, or a tokenization platform going live, triggers a sharp move. The community ramps up, social volume explodes, and XRP surprises. If your 2,500 coins hold through, your upside could be far greater than most expect. Which scenario resonates with you? If you're holding 2,500 XRP, you should be asking yourself, am I set for scenario A, or am I positioning for scenario B or C? Because the size of your holding means you might want to be ready for more than incremental growth. Now, let's talk about the key triggers and variables that could make or break this move. Trigger 1. Institutional and treasury accumulation. Major players are competing for XRP tokens, meaning fewer available for retail. Supply starts to tighten. Trigger 2. Real-world asset tokenization and utility. XRP isn't just a speculative token. It's being positioned within institutional rails for payments, asset tokenization, and cross-border settlement. If you hold 2,500 coins, you're gaining exposure to real utility. Trigger 3. Technical breakout. If XRP closes above key resistance levels and volume picks up, that could ignite a fast move. Trigger 4. Regulatory clarity and mainstream adoption. Crypto markets hate uncertainty. XRP has been chasing clarity for years. As regulatory headwinds ease, you'll see confidence rise. Now, what if you're doubting all this because you remember hype cycles, altcoins that burned out, or you're thinking maybe this is just talk? Good. You should question. That means you're thinking like a responsible holder. So let's address the myths and risks you need to know, especially with 2,500 coins in play. Myth 1. XRP is just another altcoin. Well, the truth is XRP has real institutional infrastructure, partnerships, and a ledger built for purpose. That's different from speculative small coins. Myth 2. If you hold only 2,500 coins, you're too small to matter. Wrong. Whether you hold 10 or 10,000, what matters is conviction and timing. 2,500 coins is enough to give you serious exposure to the upside. Myth 3. The move's already priced in. No, it's not. The institutional accumulation, the supply shock, and the tokenization acceleration are all fairly recent developments. The market hasn't fully priced that in. Now the risks. Risk 1. Regulatory surprises. Always possible in crypto. Risk 2. Macro downturns. If broader markets crash, everything slows. Risk 3. Execution risk. Partnerships sound good on paper, but rollout speed matters. Still, if XRP delivers, that risk becomes opportunity. Let's build to the reveal. If you hold 2,500 XRP, ask yourself, am I ready for this to be more than a single-digit move? Am I prepared for a double-digit or even triple-digit percentage move? Because when institutions trigger the next phase, you want to be holding, not chasing. Here's what I believe could happen. Over the next 12-24 months, XRP could take the driver's seat in a major altcoin re-ranking. If that happens, 2,500 coins become a serious stake in a breakout. It might not be a rocket overnight, but when it takes off, you'll want it already in your wallet. Now ask yourself, are you comfortable holding through the noise until the structural breakout plays out? Do you have conviction that XRP's story has real backing? Are you positioning for growth or just hoping? Because with 2,500 coins, you have the leverage to think long-term. Let's visualize it. You hold 2,500 XRP at $3, which if XRP moves to $10, that's $25,000. If it hits $20, that's $50,000. If momentum keeps building, that could climb much higher. And if you're unprepared, you'll just watch it happen. But if you're ready, you'll live it. Now for the emotional close, because this isn't just about numbers, it's about community. If you're holding 2,500 XRP, you're not a bystander. You're part of the XRP story. You're part of a community that's been through highs, lows, lawsuits, and still here. That resilience is rare. You're part of a movement that could redefine finance. So here's what I want you to do next. Stay engaged, stay informed, and believe in your position if you've done your research. Ignore the noise. The media will focus on dips and distractions. You know the bigger picture. You know the structural story. And you know that holding 2,500 XRP gives you real leverage in what might be the next major financial revolution. If this blew your mind, smash that like button, drop a comment with your XRP price target, and subscribe for more alpha. Share this video with the community. Let's get the word out. 2,500 XRP holders unite. Let's watch this thing move together. Because this could change everything, and you'll want to be in the front row when it does.